Good morning, everyone. This is Robin with Uniquely Robins. Some people on Facebook were asking what I was doing today, and I thought I'd give you a little sneak peek of what I'm doing. Trying to get caught up on all this stuff I need to do. Some of these that you've already seen parts of, and some of them you haven't at all yet. This one here, I did post on Facebook. I'm working on this journal here. Almost finished with this one finally. This one's seemed to have taken me a while, but I'm almost done with that one. I have to finish this one up here. Gotta do with all the insides on that one yet. This one here, it's too big, had to take that one signature out. This one here I'm finishing up. Working on all the ephemera and stuff inside it, but it will be done hopefully today. And then I have these little junk journals that I'm working on that are going to be up in the Esty shop. But yeah, been a little busy. Got to finish those up before I can even start tackling this one, and I'm looking really forward to working on this one. This is going to be the cover. Of course, it's not done yet. And this will be all the goodies inside, but the purple is just really pretty. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. Lots of a little bit of everything. Okay. So for today's video, we are going to start working on our junk mail. And as you can see, I have this stack here, and I also have some more. So anytime in the mail, when you get bills or something like that you don't need the envelopes for, hold on to those, because those will come in really handy. There's a lot of stuff that we can do for inside our journals, to make journals, just to make little booklets. Lots and lots of things that we can do with those, and that's any size envelope. And the ones with the windows, you can use the windows or you can not use the windows. That's up to, you know, your personal preference. That doesn't even go in there. But yeah, any kind of this envelopes, junk mail envelopes that you have, make sure you save those, because we're going to be using them up and making them pretty. Okay, now also, the like cardstock papers that you get in the mail like this, you can use those for, you can put decorative paper on both sides of this, and it's really nice and thick and make great tags. They make really great sturdy tags when you get done with them. So save those too. Also, these big envelopes, we can make a whole journal out of this big envelope, and wait and see how we do that. That's just a little sneak peek of some of the stuff that's going to be coming up. I need to get a drink of coffee. I haven't had enough coffee yet this morning, I don't think. Yeah, and this was really hard cardstock, so that'll come in handy. Okay, so let's get on to what we're going to do today. Today we're going to make this little book. And as you'll see when we make it, I'm going to do it just a little different than I did this one, because my actual first plan for this was to have this flap at this side. But somehow I got messed up and ended up putting my paper on upside down, so we improvised and just did it the other way. So not a big deal. It's just a quirk of mine, I guess. But yeah, you open it, and you have a big tag here in the front. You could put pockets on the front if you'd rather do that. We have some pages in here for journaling on. This is something you can, stick in your purse and take along with you. However you want to do it. It has some pockets I put on the back here with some little tags in it. So yeah, you can improvise the design however you want to do it. I don't know what that's sticking on. Sticking on something in there. Anyway, we'll just stick it there for now. The pages, I just sewed these in on my sewing machine, but you don't have to sew them in. You can hand sew them like you do any other journal, or you can glue your pages in. You know, that's up to you however you want to do that. But it's nice and sturdy, and it did start out as 2 envelopes. But I mean, it is nice and sturdy. You can just toss this in your purse or your bag, whatever you want to do, and go with it. And I just put a lace closure on mine that wraps around and goes through there. Of course, I had to have my key. I love keys. Skeleton keys, love them. Any kind of skeleton keys. Old skeleton keys, I just think they're so cool. And I usually end up putting them on a little bit of everything that I do. But that's what we're going to do today. So we're going to start with our 2 envelopes. And these, I don't know if you remember a while back, I showed you the cardboard fold out. I'm trying to get it here. This thing that I got, I picked up a box of, I think they were print your own wedding invitations at a thrift store. And they were all there. And I liked them for 2 reasons. Because they had a variety of different things in them that I could use for a whole bunch of different stuff. And also because it's kind of a masculine look too. So if you want to make a journal for your husband, your son, you know, nephew, grandson, whatever, it has more of a masculine feel to it. So you could work with that, or you can cover it and make it girly too. So it doesn't really matter how you do it. But it came with these. It came with envelopes. It came with the big white cards that were just plain with a square of the brown around them. It came with little cards. I mean, the box was just full of stuff. So I was excited about that. But anyway, these are the envelopes that came with that. You can use just regular envelopes that you got in junk mail, you know, whatever you want to do. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to try to remember to keep my flap on this side where I want it. So help me out. If I start to do it wrong, yell at me. Well, we're going to glue this down, and we're going to glue it close to the fold of the other flap, but not on top of it, because we still want it to be able to close, and then our flap will come over in the front. And I know it feels flimsy right now, but when we get the paper on it, it will stiffen it up. You won't believe how much. Okay, so we're going to put some glue on there. If I can get my glue to work. Normally I work on it before I start, but I didn't today, so hopefully it'll come out. Hey, it's working. Something's going to go right today. I can't believe it. And we're just going to put glue on here. And I got a little bead there in my way. I don't even know how that got out. A runaway bead is trying to escape. Cleaned off my desk today, and look what I found. My favorite burnishing tool. It tries to get away from me all the time. I'm always losing it. Okay, so our flap's gonna fold. Let me stick this bead in here and get it out of my way before I lose it. Dumped the whole thing of them the other day, and I thought I got them all picked up, but about 7:30, 8 o'clock last night, or the other night, I heard the cat in here batting it all over the floor, so she found one. And I'm just gonna make sure I have my corners. And sometimes on my corners, I like it to squirt out just a little bit, and I rub it on top. And that helps hold it down a little better sometimes, I think. Okay, so we have this flap will close and that flap will go over. And we have just enough room for a little bulk in there. All right, so let's see what kind of papers we got scrap-wise over here. See, I got some of those. I have this sheet here. I think this is what I used for my cans, but these are big enough. Yeah, so I think we will make it this color. Still thinking just to be sure that's what I want to do. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, so first of all, we're going to cover, let's do the outside first. I want to make sure I get it. I guess this really doesn't, it does have words on it, but they're kind of all different directions, so it's really not directional paper. If you do have directional paper, though, a tip is make sure you have it going the right direction. If you want your flap on this side, or if you want your flap on this side, make sure your paper's going the right way, because that's how I messed the other one up. But I fixed it. All right. Okay, I'm going to mark. I'll pull this over just enough I can see the edge. And I'm going to mark where I want to cut my paper. On this side. And I want it to go, pull it down so I can see that crease. Make sure it's even on this side. And I see where my fold is, and I want to come in just a little bit from my fold and cut there. Get the trusty old cutter here, and we'll cut that off. Sorry if I'm sniffling, I think I'm coming down with a cold. Here's my mark. There it is. I think I did it in red, I'd be able to see it easy. Okay. So that's going to be our piece for the inside right there. Now we know that the outside is going to be pretty much the same size. And will you fit? No, you won't. You little rascal, you. I thought for sure that was going to be big enough. Will you? No. Well, we'll figure that out when we get there, I guess. Okay. Now you can do two things at this point. You can either cut this and use it as two pieces, or you can just put it on like this, which is what I'm going to do. I'm just gonna put it on and then fold it. You'll just have to burnish it really good where that fold is at, because we still want to keep that fold. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ink my edges. Inking the edges covers a multitude of mistakes and sins in case you make them. It also gives it a more vintage look, and I really think that with this paper it's going to look really nice with the edges like that. My ink is a little dark just because I just re-inked my anchor pad. Phew, it's warm in here. It's always good to ink your pages before you glue them down. You can do it afterward, but it's not as easy and not as neat. I think I need to get me a new pad on the end of my thing. This one has been through some rough times. And I'm going to ink my paper too, just 'cause I like it. I've been making journals for my daughter for oh, probably 4 years now, and or more. But they were just the regular journals. And when I first saw the junk journal things a few years ago, I was a little iffy on them because I don't know, I tend to go more toward the more precise, I guess, journals with the junk pages and stuff. It just kind of threw me for a loop, and it took me a long time to get used to that, but now I kind of like them. Okay, that's that for now. Now let's get this glued down. Where'd my pen go? I love this glue. I'm gonna have to get me some more glue. Oh. Sorry if I'm not in frame. I'm just putting some glue around the edges of this paper, and sometimes I gotta get it up here where I can see it. Got me some of those sugar bell bottles because sometimes this bottle is really hard to squeeze with my feeble little hands, but okay. I have to get the lids for them. Down there where you belong. Sometimes you just gotta tell it what to do. Let it know who's boss. All right, we're gonna burnish this down. Now, I'm being kind of careful where my opening is because I don't want to glue that closed because we may use that as a pocket. I haven't decided yet. Looking for, I had a piece of, here it is. A piece of plastic I just stick in there so it doesn't stick to the paper itself. I don't remember the, let's see, let's take a look. I don't remember if I put a pocket in this one or not. I don't think I did. No, I didn't. Okay. But you could if you want. But that one I didn't. Okay. Haha, see? Okay, now we're going to flip it over and find our fold. And we want to burnish that down. I want to make sure it's straight and even. And we're going to burnish that fold back in our paper. And I'm going to flip it this way and do it again, just so it has a nice crease in there. Okay. I got that a little crooked, didn't I? Oh. Crooked is as crooked does, and I am crooked. Okay, there we go. Okay, now while we have this open, I'm going to ink that, just because I like the look. Especially in the creases, I really like the way it looks when it's inked. A little short there, but that's okay, we'll cover it up. All right, how's everybody doing today? Hope y'all are having a great day. Let's see, I need a piece for here. Where's my scrap? There it is. It's hiding from me. Is this the same one? Yes. Yeah, it is. Okay. Now, we want to cover this flap. Now, here's where you need to decide if you want a pocket here or not. Because if you do, yeah, it's trying to stick on me. Then you want to come over here and start so you have a pocket here, which I think this one I'm going to put a pocket in. If you don't want a pocket, you could just use one sheet on this whole piece. Just make sure you put your folds in. But I think this one we will put a little pocket there. You could put whatever you want in there. So I'm going to come over here. And don't worry about this because we're going to fix that so you won't see that. And make sure you don't glue on the fold itself or it's going to be really hard for you to fold that. So I'm going to turn this over, both pieces, and try to line it up where I want it. Actually, if I make it too big, you can always trim it off, but if you make it too short, you can't make it bigger. Well, it's crafting, you can, but you'll have a seam. And trace around that. Nice red pen so I can see. And then you're going to watch me fumble to try to cut this out because I'm not a straight cutter in any way, shape, or form. So thank goodness for lace and trim and ways to fix your mistakes, because I make them. I think we all do at some point. Okay. So there's our piece that's going to go on there. Now, at this point, we do know that we're going to put a piece on the other side, too, so you could make two of these right now. But I'm not sure what paper I'm going to use on the other side, so I'm not going to do that. Okay, so we have this piece of paper left, and I'm going to mark this off how long it needs to be. And I'm going to cut that. There is a method to my madness. I know you're thinking, why are you cutting that scrap piece? Actually, I want this. It doesn't have to be straight because you're not going to see it, but I kind of want it to be. So I'm going to trim it with my trimmer here. Just that top piece. There we go. All right. So what I'm going to do with this piece before I glue this down is, well, my pocket is sticky on me. This will help that too. I'm going to slide this down in there. And it is going to go over my fold a little bit, so I'm going to have to burnish that really good. But I don't want to see that when I put this on. I'm sorry. Not making a lot of sense, am I? I don't want to see this in through here. Now you could ink that so you don't see it. I don't know with this being brown inside. I mean, you guys could yours if you're using a white envelope. But with this being brown inside, I don't know that it's going to cover well. Let's see if it does. I mean, it's not real noticeable, but is it gonna bother me? I don't know. Probably. It'll bother me. So you don't have to put this piece in if you don't have OCD, because it won't bother you, but it bothers me, so I'm gonna put it in there. And like I said, if this was a white envelope, I would just ink that and it wouldn't bother me. But it probably will, so. And just get it, you know, straight as you can. And burnish that down. Yeah, I think it'd be nice to have a little pocket there you could put something in. Okay. Now, before I put this other piece on there, I'm going to find my fold and burnish that back out. Since I put that in there. Got ink all over my fingers. So you will have to do that if you put a piece in there. And I'll have to do it again once I get this on there, but. And then we're gonna lay this piece on. Grace, no barking. It was so funny, the last time my grandson was here, the 8-year-old, he knows Graham.